Has anybody ever gone out with somebody that's a vegan or does CrossFit? God, yeah, that's like the first thing they tell you. It's like, I'm a vegan and I do CrossFit, or what are they like?
We just had that conversation
right?
yesterday. She was like, I hate vegans just for the simple fact they walk up, introduce yourself. Hi, my name is so-and-so, I'm vegan.
Hi, I'm curious, I'm gluten intolerant. Like, what? What does that even mean?
We're not eating gluten.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Are you supposed to do a kitchen? Like, but yeah, but then, because like the appraiser doesn't know that. And also too, like the definition of custom is super loose. It's a custom cabinet because I customly put a 9-inch cabinet here, and I customly put a stove here, and I customly put a 24-inch cabinet here. So everything is custom. What does that even mean? It's such a subjective thing. You know what I mean?
Are these two mirrors of each other?
Identical. They're the same.
So you're doing two of the
exact same thing.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, super simple. So yeah, I'm thinking my remarks is like, man, custom kitchen, custom backsplash, custom tile work in the kitchen, new this, new that, you know, like all of that kind of stuff is what I'm thinking.
It's good for selling.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You can sell the sizzle on the custom.
It is, yeah, it's amazing. And it's not like it's like being dishonest. My definition of custom is like every cabinet has a place. It's very intentional. I customly built this with love. So much love. Right?
Customly designed it.
Yeah.
Everything on the appraisal package is custom.
Everything.
Custom floor, custom cabinet,
Right.
custom tile, custom pressure washer.
Yep. Everything. Everything. And then, so now I think in this unit. So this unit here was this unit was a dining room. This was a dining room. That was the living room. Back here was the kitchen in this corner. Bathroom here. And upstairs was 2 bedrooms. So it was a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. So now the story this house is telling me in the beginning when I looked at it, I'm like, well, okay, first floor, you know, we added the bedroom down there. Upstairs here, I'm like, man, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. I'm like, that might be tight. That might be a little tough. So what's the highest and best use? Who's going to want this unit, this bigger unit up here for $1,500? Well, maybe 2 friends that like each other, but that don't want to be in each other's face. So like, what do I do? Like, well, okay, we keep a bedroom here. We move the kitchen into here again. Same thing as downstairs. This old kitchen though, it doesn't need to be a bedroom because I'm not trying to pack people in apartments because personalities clash, stomping, whatever. So this back here would be a laundry room, like a nice formal laundry room, storage area stuff in here. We got a full bath right here. And then upstairs, I want to make it feel like an ensuite. I want to make it feel like a getaway. So then we still have a bedroom upstairs, but then we took the other bedroom and we're like, why don't we just make that a full bath? So we make a full bath upstairs and then take a little bit of attic space that was kind of wasted and weird, and we make that a closet. So now it's almost like an ensuite upstairs for a tenant has their own space up here. Maybe they'll pay a little bit more upstairs to have that space. And then the person down here who has to share this bathroom, people hanging out or whatever, still has kind of their own bathroom, but maybe pays a little bit less or whatever. Has anybody had those conversations in apartments where you're moving in with somebody? It's like when I live with my friend, I'm like, well, you got the bigger bedroom, you should pay $9 more. Like, it's like going out to dinner with people and like arguing over who drank the most wine should pay the most. But yeah, so does that make sense? Like the story? Do you guys want to, like, it's not huge upstairs. If you guys want to go up and look, but is there any other questions about like the kitchen or any of this?
What kind of tops are you using?
Top? This is on that sheet too. So I'll probably do just like a quartz on the top. I just like the way quartz looks, and I know it's not as durable as a granite, but we'll seal it and it'll look nice. Or if my stone guy can give me a good deal, I'll do something different. But if your people are on a budget and you're trying to do these kitchens, I like always recommend doing stone. And if you're on a budget, black pearl granite is just like a solid granite that's really less expensive than the other ones. But ask the granite supplier, what do they have as far as remnants? Like, what scrap pieces do you guys have laying around? Like, what do you have laying around?
You share, like, so we've seen it before.
Yeah.
Right, what it is now. I really want to see what it looks like after before you move somebody in. Can you share those photos whenever this gets completed?
You want to see what it looks like after?
Yeah.
Everybody get your phone out. This is why doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. Go in Google, type in 3309 West 8th Street. Yeah, West 8th Street, Cincinnati. Click it. Okay, first one on Zillow pops up, Unit 1. So this is actually already rented, so I don't know why it says for rent. No. This is what, look at that kitchen. Do you guys see the kitchen in that unit?
Just reverse this layout.
Yeah. That is exactly what's going to look like. But that was before I started putting in like the nicer hood vents. This was actually the first apartment that I had ever flipped the layout on and moved the kitchen and bedroom. That's what it's going to look like. Would you guys live there? Yeah. Okay. Look up 610 Hawthorne. Now I laid the kitchen out a little bit different there. This was before I did my my island thing, and I also didn't have a lot of room because the door of the bedroom was right here. Look up 610 Hawthorne right across the street. It's very similar, except it's on two walls because it's just where the door is. But look up 610 Hawthorne. Very simple. Do you guys see it?
What's Avenue?
Whatever road. Yeah, it's right across the street. I own 610 Hawthorne. I own 600 Hawthorne. I own 533 Hawthorne. Then I own the other one over here on Purcell, which is like around Caddy Corner. Look up another one. Look up 717 Purcell. I think that it's that one or it's 719. Purcell, Cincinnati.
This is 16, this is not yours, is it?
610. Yeah.
It's got a microwave.
I know. I know. I know. that was actually one of the reasons why I'm just like, we're done. So let me see it. Yeah. This one's a little different. Look up 719 Purcell. 719 Purcell. Yeah, Purcell Avenue. 719 Purcell Avenue. Yeah, so this is I mean the same concept, but two different walls. Do you see how the kitchens are just very simple? Like I'm not wrapping corners. I just want to keep it very simple. I'm not worried about a lazy Susan. Now if I'm doing a house, it might look a little bit different, right? But I'm just talking about units in apartments. If I'm doing a house, I might go a little bit different, a little bit this or a little bit that. Not here. I mean, space is at a premium. Like every inch matters.
What do you do if there's, I was looking at a kitchen with like the sinks in front of the window, like
Yeah.
it would be here and then like the walls here, so you have like that dead corner right there.
Yep.
Do you do anything in that or just leave it dead?
You just have to really decide what's gonna like get you more rent. And I would rather save that money for a new furnace if I don't do my furnace, or save that money for like a CapEx, like a real issue, like a real thing, than spend $400 on a lazy Susan. What's up, John? Cool. Any more questions on this?
Yeah, what we've been doing in corners is like not the blank corner, not the lazy Susan, but literally just taking a filler ribbon and half right, bumping it out so they don't interfere with each other, just leaving that spot dead.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's like nobody uses it.
Sean's the guy that when he does the houses, he puts like the skeletons in the corner. So like in like 20 years when they demo it, they're like, oh my God. And then it's like, Sean's been here. Sean wrote at...
Except they're real.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Guys, does anybody else have anything on the kitchen or anything? Does anybody have anything else on anything?
Can you tell the numbers on this deal yet?
Yeah. So got it. Actually remember, yeah. So I bought it for $130 okay, so let's start from the very beginning. So I was across the street at my one place on Hawthorne. I walked outside, I saw some guy walking around out here. And I was like, hey, how's it going? I just like literally talking to everybody because I'm an idiot. Just talk to everybody, right? And he was talking, and I just started talking to him, and he was basically told me he owned this building here. He was just checking on something. I was like, well, let me know if you want to sell it. And he's like, well, how much you want to buy it for? And I was like, I'll give you 100. And he's like, how about 200? And I was like, how about 110? And then kind of went back and forth for a minute. I took his number, we moved on. And then I kind of texted him. I was kind of staying in touch a little bit. And I was like, you know, like, I'll give you like 120. He's like, how about 130? And I'm like, how about 125? He's like, 130. And I'm like, fine, 130 is fine. So like bought it for 130, wholesaled it to myself. Only did that with a private lender. So wholesaled it for that, for $10,000 on top. So I got it for 140. I'm going to put about, with a hard cost, soft cost and everything, about like 120-ish into it. And it's only because I've held it for longer than I should have, because I did a $4,000 square foot renovation on my house during this. And then part of it too is like, I just wasn't
rented too. Wasn't part of this one rented?
Yeah, and it was rented too. And I kind of just left the people and didn't want to mess with it. And then they actually the second floor person moved out this time last year, and then the first floor person moved out in like April of last year. So I also was still like, it was still breaking even. I paid paid it, it was fine. Didn't really care because I've been busy running around with all you hooligans and doing all this stuff. But then they moved out and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna finally get this thing done. So yeah, so about 140 purchase, about 130 renovation. So hard cost, soft cost. So like 270-ish, 260-ish. And I had I had in my mind about 315 to 320-ish ARV. So it's not like it was a no home run or anything. But remember, I like wholesaled it to myself. And at the end of the day, too, I know we like always talk about getting all the checks back and whatnot, but like if you can own a property without $1 out of your pocket, like isn't that kind of a win still too? Like that's still a pretty cool win. But right now there is a property on Considine, a 2-family that's not as nice as mine, as this is going to be, that's currently pending for like 354. So if that closes for like 354, I would be like, all right, cool. Appraisal package has got a lot more prettier. So we'll see. But yeah, so those will kind of be the numbers on that. And then all rents up here for about 1,500, downstairs for between 11 and 1,200. Yeah, big time.
Like one other, there's no real in between.
Guys, look up 736 Considine. That was the very first house ever flipped in this neighborhood. 736 Considine. Considine. First house has ever been flipped in this neighborhood. I was dumb enough to buy it. So I had just bought my rental, my first property at Mount Hope, and then somebody had this other one. I bought it for $10,000. I got destroyed. I mean, I lost so much money on that house. But people just recently started flipping stuff here just a few years ago and buying stuff in this neighborhood. But what's nice is like you're seeing empty lots where people are tearing down blighted houses, and the city's paying attention and making it nicer. But it's still like, I don't know. It's still like I love buying everything up here if I can, but now I got to go somewhere different because all you guys come up here now and all you guys do all your mailers up in this neighborhood. And then we do our framing, past the framing. We do our rough-in, everything behind the walls. Obviously past all that. We get all that inspected. We get electric, plumbing, insulation, all that, fire blocking. And then we do, then we hang our drywall on our backer board. Did all that. Then we do our trim and everything. So all the trim is done now. And the tile's done. I got the tile done a little bit early. All that's done. So now the next thing that needs to happen in this house before I set the cabinets is we're going to spray the entire house white. One color, one sheen, PPG, delicate white, and eggshell. The entire house, everything, the exact same thing. And it's really important that when you guys buy the paint and you're doing that strategy, that method, you buy the paint from the exact same place every single time. One PPG and another are going to be a little bit different. PPG from Home Depot, even though it's the same kind of paint, the mixers are going to be calibrated a little bit differently. And when you're dealing with a color like white, there are 75 shades of white. There are so many. Even just a little bit of difference can make a huge difference. So go to the same place and buy it over and over and over and over again. So now when they go to spray this, the way that they're going to have the sprayer set up is that it's not going to be a perfect finish in this house. And some places are used to it, like in different markets, they'll do like an orange peel finish, or they'll do like some kind of stucco or like a little bit of textured finish. This right here, when it's all painted, most people won't really notice a ton that the texture is a little bit different. But when they paint it, they're going to set the tip so it sprays a little bit, I'm not going to say like messy, but a little bit with a little bit of a texture on it. So when they hit it with a sprayer, they'll hit it with a little bit of a texture, and then they'll back roll it. And I feel pretty confident that it'll all kind of like even itself out. You know what I mean? So that's a really good question. So we're going to hit all of this same color, and then I'll come back and like blue tape a couple things like that. Like, see that? I'm like wondering why that's leaking. That's interesting.
Some pills on it.
Yeah, but there should be no issues. So like we need to see what's going on with that. But then we'll spray everything, the exact same color everywhere. And then I think we'll knock that out. Probably by the end of next week, I'll have to order the paint and get that here. Get all that sprayed, knocked out. And then right when that's done, then we're setting the kitchen cabinets. And I like to set kitchen cabinets before we do the flooring, because if for some reason I need to do the flooring or need to do something to it and pull it up, I don't have to go under the kitchen cabinet. So then we'll do the flooring. So by the end of next week, all painted there. Then we'll set cabinets. And then we'll do, then we'll set the cabinets, and that goes in the bathroom too, the vanity. Then we'll come in and do all the flooring. or I'm sorry, when we do the cabinets, then we'll do the finish, the specialty finish, like the electric rough-in or the electric finish stuff. Maybe like then we'll come in and do the flooring, and then they'll come in and do the electrics. Then they'll come in and do the plumbing. And they'll come in and do all their little trade things that they have to do, and they'll measure for cabinets. They'll measure for countertops the second the cabinets are in. So then, I mean, realistically, like if I push it the way I'm supposed to, we'll be done here in 2 to 3 weeks. Like we're not far off at all. And this is where having trade specific people do my work has been an absolute game changer, because I don't rely on one person to do everything. Like if I relied on the same people to paint, that set my cabinets, that do my flooring, that do my electric finish, that do my plumbing finish, I can only go as fast as that one person and those couple people go. The people that do my flooring, all they do is flooring. They will be in and out of this entire place in a day. They will knock this out in a day, and that's not going to slow anything down. And then the people that do my electric, all they do is the electric. They will be in and out of here in a few days. People that do my plumbing, all they do is plumbing. So I'm trade specific. I don't ever want to rely on one person to do everything. And maybe that person is good as a maintenance man, but not as somebody that can actually push jobs and like move you in the direction you want to go when you scale. Like I fell for it before, back when like I would meet somebody and they're like, I'm like, oh, so what do you do? And they're like, I do plumbing, electric, drywall, I do all this. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like I'm going to be rich. Like this person can do everything. Like this is my unicorn. Like this is amazing. They're liars. They can't. And if they can, they can't do they can't do all of them very well, but then maybe they can do a little bit. So like, I'm not saying there's not a place for them, but they're probably just a good handyman. Like they're probably a good person that can come out and like help. Like as you scale, you want to keep them on your bench, but they're not your starters. Like they're a different person. Like I want to go as trade specific as possible on everything.
So you run your flooring all the way up with cabinets on top of it?
No, I do my cabinets first, then my flooring. Yeah, and also like see all this all existing trim right here. So we got to tie this in. Who remembers this used to be a door? You remember that was the door, Joseph? You weren't here. This used to be a door to a balcony out here, to like a ridiculously dangerous thing. So what we'll do here is just use a piece of 1x6, just a flat 1x6 right here, and then we'll cap it with just something that matches that profile on the top, just to make it all look the same. And my main thing is I just want to get the inside 100% done, and I'll start marketing it. And then my siding people will come out and re-side the entire house. Like we'll re-side the whole house. We'll probably just go white. I don't know, nothing too crazy. But like how I said, I've been slacking on this house. Like on the flip side, there's another property. We're not going to go to it, but I'm going to share photos of it. It's in Norwood, and I closed on that house 6 weeks ago, and we're almost done. Like, wow. So it's like I've just been dragging my feet, which is like dumb because I pay interest only on this house, and it's kind of expensive. So, but yeah, we're almost done. My lender on here is awesome. He's super awesome, but it's just the same process. I just want to keep it all super, super simple. I just put a four family in Covington under contract. I close the end of the seller wants to close next year for tax reasons. Close sometime in January. And the layout, the property is 4 units. The units are just like this, but add one more bedroom, add one more room there. You walk in, it's just set up the exact same way, just this long, and they're just 4 1-bedroom units. And I'm like, man, how can I make it 2 beds, or how can I do? And sometimes you just can't. And sometimes if you do it, you're just gonna make it bad. Like you're gonna take away from the person that really wants a 1-bedroom that's like what it needs. But Covington's an awesome market. But yeah, so I'm excited to like get those going. Those units are disgusting. And there's like people living in, 2 of them are super gross. One of them is like okay, and the other one's vacant. The one that's super gross, guys, I swear to you, I didn't record it. I wish I would have, and I will when I close on it. I can smell it. I can taste it. I walked in the front door, and the guy's like, oh yeah, this is, I would have tightened it up a little bit. I'm like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, whatever. So I walk in the kitchen, like right when you walked in, it was the kitchen, because we came in the back door. Then in the middle is like the living room. And then there's a front bedroom. There's a front room. I swear to God, there's not even a door anymore. There's like a black tarp there. And his apartment smelled so gross. I probably saw 15 cats coming in and out of that back room. I don't even know what's in that back room. I just wouldn't even go in there. I'm just like, I'm like budget max. Like everything needs replaced. Like just like everything. So I'm like, account for just everything in there just needs gutted and demoed out, but it was disgusting. Stay tuned. That's going to make good footage when you guys see that. But I was like, oh my God, like it's so bad. And like when I went back there, I was just like, no, thank you. But I'm excited to get that one going. $2,500, so about $4,000 just in the plumbing to do that. And that's just as rough. That's the rough and plumbing behind the walls. It gets it up there. That includes all the materials behind the walls, $1,250 a fixture. And yes, believe it or not, there is somebody else that is licensed that we can get it cheaper from. There are people out there, and there are people significantly more expensive. I'm just like right in the middle, and he did awesome work. It's approved, it's passed, it's pressure tested. So about $4,000 for the rough in for that, and then to finish it all out from the walls out, about another $6,000. So about 10 grand to add it. But now I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit. I'm gonna appeal to more renters, and it's just gonna increase the value. Like it's just better. So, any other questions, guys?
So you financed this house? I just want like more information on the deal itself.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So you financed this with hard money?
Private money.
You use private money because hard
Yes.
money's for like your first couple of deals.
So let's talk about that then. So there's 2 sets of money that you guys are going to use whenever you're doing the BRRRR method and buying real estate. There's 2 sets. The first set I call short-term money. Short-term money is money that you borrow for a short period of time. So anywhere between 3 and 12 months. That's short-term money. Now, short-term money is to buy it and add the value. It's more expensive than long-term money. Short-term money is not meant to be used for a very long time.
Right.
It's meant to be to purchase the property, renovate it and add value, and then you want to pay it off. Now that's the short-term money. Now short-term money can be private lenders. And what private lenders are, think of friends, family, aunts, uncles that have retirement accounts, that have savings, that have money that they want to lend to you. That is trust-based lending. That is relationship-based lending. Like my private lenders, if I was like, hey, lend Joseph money, I'd be like, who's Joseph? Lend Phil money. Like, who's Phil? I like know you. Like, lend Nate money. Like, well, I don't know Nate. Like, whoever. So like, they won't do that because they're my relationship. So everybody here has people that will lend them money. No matter what you think, you know somebody that will lend you money. They just, number one, don't know that you know how to manage their money. They don't know that you know how to find deals. They don't know that you are somebody that is deserving of their money, because that is a privilege. Borrowing private money from people, they've saved their whole lives for this money. So they're just not going to give it away. Like that's their money. That they worked very hard for that. So you do not take it seriously. You do not take it lightly. Like you take it very seriously. So that's private money. Hard money is more of it is short-term debt again, but it's more institutionalized. Like it's like they're going to want a formal appraisal typically, right? They're going to want a formal appraisal. They're going to probably charge you points, like a percentage of the deal. Like if the deals they're lending $100,000, they might charge you 2 points. So it's $2,000 on top of that. They're just going to want maybe taxes. They're going to want maybe more specifics on the deal, more this and that. And some private lenders might want that too. And that's okay if they do. Make them feel comfortable. You want to make everybody feel comfortable and give them whatever they want, because at the end of the day, you should have all that information. If you don't, then you're not doing your due diligence right? But the private lenders are going to want maybe pull your credit, look at your credit score and want a certain this and that. So the hard money is more institutionalized short-term debt. Now let's look at the flip side. Now we borrow this money between 10 and 14% for hard money, private money, whatever, right? Whatever that is. Now we're like, well, and a lot of times those loans we're paying interest only on short-term debt, which means we're never paying the principal down. We're just always paying the interest over and over and over again. So now we're like, well, I can't do this forever. Like it's really expensive. The money's expensive. What do I do? Well, now what we want to do is move to our long-term debt. And our long-term debt is the financing that we keep in place for anywhere between 5 and 30 years. Now the long-term debt is more favorable debt. That's going to be debt that we're going to be at for investment properties, depending on the market, like anywhere between 5.5 to 8.5%, right? But it's more long-term debt. So then you use that to refinance your short-term debt and pay it off. You refinance the property and you pay off the short-term debt, and you're like, private lender, hard money lender, here's all your money back. I've got a better loan over here. I really appreciate what you did for me. Will you do that again for me? Because I'm going to do some more of these deals. And then you just have that relationship with your long-term debt and you just recycle over and over again. Does that make sense?
No, I get all that, and I'm actually very clear on all that.
Okay.
I wanted to get into when you refinance this, are you using DSCR?
Okay.
Are you?
Yes. So
Okay,
so the question is what kind of long-term debt am I using? Now there's two different kinds. Number one is a traditional kind of long-term debt, and that might be the kind of long-term debt that most people are used to out there, and that's the kind of debt where they're like, save 20% and buy the property, or save 20% and do this or whatever. And then you have, and then that kind of like loan, that kind of lender is going to look at your personal taxes, look at your debt to income, look at you as a borrower, really underwrite you as a borrower. Then you have this other side of debt that's a DSCR, debt service coverage ratio, the asset-based lending. They are going to look at the property. They're going to look at you, make sure your credit's not, they want a minimum score, probably, I don't know, 620, 630 or whatever. But obviously the higher your credit score, the more leverage you can get. And when I say leverage, loan to value. So say the property's worth $200,000 and you have a 500 credit score, they might be like, dude, I'll give you 50% loan to value. So they might give you 100. But if it's a 700, they're like, you can get 80%. So there's those variables. But a DSCR lender is an asset-based lender. They're going to underwrite the deal more than the person. And they're going to be a lot easier to work with, really, than a traditional bank in most cases. So but you'll pay a little bit extra. So like I might pay.
Yeah, closing costs are very high.
Yeah, closing costs are maybe a little bit more expensive, but you might have to pay points, 1 or 2%. I love using the asset-based lenders, DSCR. It's just so much faster.
Sure.
So I prefer DSCR lenders to secure my long-term debt on the properties. That being said, starting out, my credit was bad, and it was like so my credit was bad. I was on the come up. I had wholesale deals, and I had and my credit was still kind of creeping. It was like in the low 600s, but I was able to buy my house because I used a VA loan or an FHA loan. Which the first thing anybody should be doing if you don't have any real estate is buying a house hacking 100%. Somebody said that earlier, but house hacking I think is the most underutilized thing ever, which I'll rant on that in a second. But then I went to a small local bank, like People's First Bank up in Mason, and I knew them because in the scene I was in wholesaling, I saw that this person came up as a refinance for the property that I had sold somebody, so I kind of keep track of the deals. So I went and talked to the bankers up there, and I'm like, hey, I want to start buying and holding. I've done all these wholesale deals, and I'm working on fixing my credit. I'm like, will you guys like lend me money on a property? And they're like, well, not quite yet, but maybe later. Well, then I ended up buying my first house, my primary house. That was a house hack. It needed a ton of work. So I actually got them to give me a HELOC, a home equity line of credit against my house.
Yeah, I saw that video. That was amazing. You got 130 in a HELOC after spending a year repairing it.
Yep.
That's great.
Dude, every time I did a wholesale deal, I did something and did this and that. And then they gave me the HELOC, and that HELOC bought my first 749 Mount Hope. And then crazy. 926 Mount Hope, then 30309 West 8th. And then I used that HELOC, and then I went back to the bank. I'm like, hey, remember how you gave me that HELOC? Remember we talked about investment properties? They're like, yeah. I'm like, well, I put it all in this place here. How about you guys refinance it?
Yeah, and then you paid the HELOC back. How?
That wasn't a win, so that was kind of a big loss. Right. So I bought the property for $17,500. I put like $130 into it. It appraised for like $130. Okay. So I got back like $105. And then I paid my HELOC off with it, and I had left like $25 still on my HELOC. And I'm like, I really believe in this area. Like it'll come around. Gotcha. I'm not saying everybody do that, but
then that's kind of leading toward my question for this property now.
Yeah.
So with this property, you're going to be leaving a little bit in there, then that's the amount that you actually got. That's what you got this house for, essentially.
Yeah, well,
after you get whatever you leave in the.
So do this. Do 320 times 80.
That's gotcha. So you're at 256.
So 256. 256. So minus 130. Right. For the purchase. Excuse me, and then minus 120.
So you got 6,000 that you take home, but you got.
I probably won't take it home. Closing costs and fees. So I'll probably be right at like not having to come out of pocket at all. But remember, I wholesale it to myself, and then at the end of the day, I made 10 grand on the wholesale fee. But also too, it's like even if I had to bring 5,000 to closing, Like, would you guys pay $5,000 for a brand new house out of pocket that you didn't use a penny of your own money? Like, I didn't use a penny. I don't have a penny of my own money in this house.
Yeah.
I literally don't have a penny of my own money in this house.
Right.
I have borrowed money to do this entire house.
Right, so even though you didn't make a home run on this deal, you're still, you know, even if you leave just a little bit in there, you know.
Yeah, dude, I get, no, you know, cash flow is not always the most important thing, but it matters a little bit. Like, I get the cash flow from this, I get the appreciation, which is, I said 320 ARV. If that one closes at 350, that's another 30,000 on top of it. Like, there's that, and then guess what? I'd probably still tell the bank, let's not do 80%, let's do 75, and let's adjust the rate down, and then how much cheaper is that going to be? Yeah, and then lower that a little bit. So then I got the appreciation, I got the tax benefits, I get the cash flow, and like I own an asset that's should essentially be completely turnkey because everything in here is brand new. So I shouldn't be getting any calls unless somebody wants me to kill a spider, which they do call about that. Phil knows. So. But yeah, those are all really, really good questions. I love that.
Thanks for explaining that.
Yeah, of course. What time is it? We gotta make sure you guys leave here by 12.
11:38.
All right, cool. So we got like 20 minutes.
So did you do the furnaces and all that in this?
So the furnaces I did not do, but they were done in the last 5 years.
Gotcha.
So my furnace guys will tune them up and make sure they're all beautiful and amazing.
Does it have forced air?
Yes, forced air everywhere. ACs. Funny story, I didn't know this house had ACs. I thought I was gonna have to add them because they were in this like little fence that was all overgrown and disgusting. And it wasn't until I looked in the backyard and kind of looked through this one window, I'm like, there's ACs in there. And I should have looked during the inspection, but the guy was just like, the units in here were really disgusting too. Like they were really bad. But yeah, so that was a win. But yeah, all the mechanicals will be updated, like, because they're all within 5 years. I am replacing the water heaters though in both
And you
units.
know the sewer is not an issue because you had people in here.
Yep, yeah. And I scoped it even before I bought it.
Right.
Yeah, so it's fine.
So if it didn't have ACs, would you do base splits?
No, I would put forced air in, only because it already had forced air. Yeah, it already had the ductwork. And the size. Now, if it's a smaller unit, like my two smaller one beds in Columbia Tusculum, I did mini splits because they're two small one beds, like they're 900 square feet. And there wasn't really room for ductwork to take away. It was just taken away from the house, so I did mini splits there. But yeah, definitely forced air in this.
Yeah, because some of these old houses, it's hard to put the ductwork in.
It can be.
Is that right? Because I saw a video he was showing with Caden where he put in the mini splits.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's because of the structure itself or something.
I don't know the details. Like,
I think it's because it was a plaster house and they didn't feel like they weren't taking down the studs.
yeah, but
Or whatever.
yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you guys wanted to, like, if you look, you can run a chase up. Like, you can run the furnace system is going to have a trunk line, and a trunk line is like the main thing that brings everything up. I could frame in a trunk line in the center of the house. I mean, like anywhere in the front center of the house, and then tee off the trunk line because these are 9-foot ceilings here.
Right.
So if I drop the ceilings a foot and they're 8-foot ceilings, nobody's gonna notice, right? I can still run all my ductwork. I think that's probably one of the most underutilized things in older houses is the additional ceiling space.
Sure.
People feel super limited about what they can do, but I'm like, guys, like, just drop, like, look, I dropped it over there. Guys, nobody's gonna say anything. Nobody's gonna walk in and be like, oh, I don't know, man, that bump out's a little weird and it doesn't even look like it's framed evenly. Or the ceiling's a little, I don't even know. But guess what? It doesn't even matter. Like, everybody's so focused on all these things that don't really move the needle. And then they just obsess over it. And it's like, not really that big of a deal.
I want to add one thing to that HVAC. In these older homes, you don't want to try and move the location of the furnace, like, somewhere to a closet up here or something. You want it in the basement because that radiant heat.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And with these tall ceilings, man.
You need that.
Oh.
It helps when you drop them anyway, keeps you warm.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
Sweet. No window replacements on this? They were all vinyl and good?
All vinyl. I'm only going to replace the windows if they're just aluminum wood or if the seals are all broken and if they don't go up and down. But these are all vinyl. Like my window guy, if there's any issues, he'll come out and fix them. But they're super dirty, obviously, but they'll get cleaned up and they'll look beautiful. What else we got? A few things I had to do in here. So I got this wired here for the for pendant lights. So we'll drop a couple pendant lights right here. You know what? I'm trying to see. So I have to hardwire the smoke alarms. So I don't even know where the smoke alarms are. Hopefully they didn't cover them. Yeah, there definitely needs to be smokes in here. My electrician got picked up by ICE.
Damn.
Yeah, it sucks.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's a great book.
Yeah, he got picked up. He got picked up by ICE. He got in a fender bender, and is currently in Warren County right now. And I'm like trying to figure out how to get him out or like what to do. I mean, even beyond, like even before the work, I'm not worried about the work because like just like worried about him as a person more than the work. So that's a little. I mean, again, I'm not worried about the work. Like I will find out where the smokes are. Like that's the least of my concerns. But yeah, normally I would just be like, hey, where'd you put like? I know that you know how to do all like this all passed the rough and inspection. That's why we hung all the drywall. Like, why are the smokes not here? I don't know. So we'll see.
They should have plans written down for
Yeah,
months at least.
yeah, they should. Doesn't mean they do.
Yeah.
So come over here. We'll look at this. This is the laundry room. This is Sean and Jennifer.
Jennifer used to be Amish, you know that?
Yeah,
Look, everybody here's got drywall dust on them.
I know. So check this out. So then this is the laundry room in here, guys. So this was the old kitchen. So we got to cut that old gas line out. Watch out behind you one. So in here we got this washer box in there, and electric. And the vent isn't in here, but I'm gonna end up obviously we'll have to vent the dryer out. We'll just punch it out here. So I don't know why we just didn't. This is like it's on me. I just should have just been a little more diligent about the washer box and the
It
dryer.
won't be that big a deal as long as you do it before you sign it.
Yeah, I know. But whatever.
Since your floor's already gone, why don't you punch it right there, Jerry's?
Punch it out the van.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to go through the trusses or anything. Because if they're, I think they're running this way. But yeah, we'll put it out. And honestly, too, it's just like,
Probably down lower.
yeah,
In the corner there.
yeah. We'll get it out, and
It's gonna be a huge laundry room.
yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be like a little mud room, and then in the kitchen, I got rid of or in the bathroom, I got rid of the window in the shower because I always do, and I wanted to redo the layout because the layout was kind of funky. And this goes for any bathroom. You should always really plan on having an exhaust. Even if you do have a window, have an exhaust. But especially if you do get rid of the windows or you don't have any window, get an exhaust. Typically, the rule of thumb is like for every square foot of bathroom it's like 1 CFM. What is CFM? Sir, something motion. CFM is like the sucking power of your exhaust. So like 80 CFMs or whatever.
I'll just get the loudest one, right? So when you go in the bathroom, like here, you know, turn on.
Yeah, get the Bluetooth one and just
Yeah. Do you wire yours to like the light so like they don't not separately?
they're separate.
I'll always put mine direct, like the, well, I mean, most of them you have like your vanity or
Yeah.
a lighted mirror or something, but then the light overhead and the fan are on one. That way you can't turn the lights on and not have the fan on because most people they'll never turn the fan.
That's a really good idea. I'm gonna start doing it because most people won't do it.
Yeah.
We had one tenant who makes. I forget where she's from. She's from somewhere else. I can't remember, but she put in a maintenance request like 2 months ago. It was my kitchen keeps sweating was her maintenance request, and I'm like, oh my god, there's like a water leak or the brick is something, and the maintenance guy went in there and he's like, Jarius, she's making stews and roux and all this stuff, just like these huge pots that are the super steamy and like just like completely like getting stuff everywhere. And he and my one maintenance guy was like, well, what do you want me to tell her? And I'm like, well, tell her that she needs to open a window and like turn the exhaust on, like turn the exhaust and the hood vent on. And she's like, well, I don't want to open the windows and the hood and I don't like the sound of the exhaust. And we're like, you have to do this. Like, we don't know, like, I don't know what to say. Like, this isn't something that we can fix. Like, this is something that you're causing. And it's okay. I want you to live in it. I want you to love it. But also, like, open the windows. Like, you would face this if you bought a house. Like, and this isn't a you cut corners thing. This is just you're doing something that needs you to do something else thing. But
Yeah, it's like saying you don't want to put gas in your car or something.
right, yeah, that's what I said.
It's like, if she's cooking stews and stuff, she probably, it's not turning the hood vent on. It's like, she's probably walking around her like her blouse and stuff, all her wardrobe smelling like stew meat.
Yeah. Right.
Everything.
Sounds pretty attractive, doesn't it?
I love it. I could go for some stew right now.
She don't want the noise. That's funny.
Man. All right, well, let's go. Anything else? I always like to have laundry rooms in
Doing
these.
vinyl siding
Oh,
or?
hold on a second. Yes. Okay, about the laundry room, real fast, guys. I used to always provide washer and dryers all the time. I stopped doing that. I stopped doing it. I only have the hookups. They just get beat up. They get destroyed. People break them. They become a maintenance thing. Ever since I stopped providing them, my life's been so much easier. And if they have to have them, there's a company in Cincinnati, you can rent them for, I think it's like 40 or 60 bucks a month. And then they can rent them directly from them. They can service it. They can maintain them. I don't want anything to do with them. I'll provide the hookups, but I will not take care of them. They just won't clean the lint. The lint gets clogged up. They'll overflow it. Just things happen. It's just not worth it. I would rather rent a unit for $60 less, and then have them put that difference towards getting their laundry.
Yeah, let that be their responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah. And then outside we'll do vinyl siding. We'll just do like 4-inch vinyl siding.
Do you wait and do the vinyl siding last year?
Very end. Yeah.
That's when it really, like, you're already done inside.
Yeah. I want it done. Like, I'll probably already have this marketed for rent before the vinyl siding is done. And then I'll just do it at the very end. Just so, now sometimes it's a little bit different. Like if I'm flipping a house, I'll kind of pay more attention to the front of the house or to the outside of the house. Kind of create a little buzz, like what's going on with that house, this and that. But in here, like I'm not flipping it. Like I just want to be left alone. I just want to I'll just do it at the very end. Because we covered a lot more windows in this house than we normally do. Like back here was 3 windows on both floors. Bathrooms, we covered those windows. And then we want to punch out the dryer vents and this and that. So I just want to wait till everything's punched out and done. Then we'll come and hit the siding up. Guys happy?
I made the mistake too with focusing on the outside, and then shit hit the fan. Have to refinance.
What do you mean?
Like, going over your time frame, going over budget.
Yeah.
You have to refinance your hard money lender, and you don't have an income producing asset because you focus on the outside.
Right. Yep. And my siding budget for this house is about labor and material is about $5,000, $5,500 a level. This house is 2.5 levels. And I budget about $15,000 to side the whole thing, make it beautiful. And that's labor and materials. And if I'm running low on cash, I would much rather get the inside rented and just tell them on the outside, hey, we're going to come back and do this. Or just be honest and be like, yeah, it's kind of what it's going to be for like the next couple years or whatever. But the inside's beautiful. So there's that. Yeah, 100%.